In a broken wasteland, come to my fire and place your blood and steel upon my pyre. Oh, this is the mental force. This is the mental force.
All right, metalheads, thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson, and I am your host. And today we have not only Jason Gardner from the Heavy Metal Wasteland, but we also have Aaron Ossont from ossont&battery here. And our guest this week is Deborah Levine from Lady Beast, Pittsburgh's premier heavy power metal act, I would say. They've definitely got something going on. Is nobody gonna say anything? Hi guys, how you doing? Are you okay?
You were talking, so I figured I'd just let you finish.
Yeah, you know how we wing this here. It's like, Jesus. Dudes, what's going on?
Oh, not much. Just another day here in the true wasteland. Getting better, a little bit better every day, but still pretty fucked. Water's coming on. It's not drinkable yet, but water is coming back to the city, so that's good. Some shows might actually happen, including mine. So I should know by tomorrow if it can happen or not, depending on if they get potable water. Right now, it's just nasty shit.
And we're talking about the Mountains to the Sea show that involving Children of the Reptile and Temptation's Wings and a few others, right?
And Mortal Man, yeah, maybe one other. We'll see if they get it. See if we can find anybody. But yeah, so like I said, it's just one day at a time kind of thing.
Hell yeah. Aaron, how's Connecticut this time of year?
It's been all right. Kind of had a little disappointment. There was supposed to be a festival, little fest this week called the Mystic Metal Fest in Mystic, Connecticut, but unfortunately, they had to cancel it. I guess there was a mix-up with the venue or something like that, so they had to cancel it. So it was kind of a bummer. I was looking forward to going to see that, but I've just been getting ready for Halloween, listening to some Halloween music, stuff like that.
Hell yeah. So it wasn't like lack of ticket sales or anything. It was like a double booking or something.
Bingo!
Well, and I recently saw a post earlier this week from Mina Walker from used to be Cramp, now it's Bronze. And she was talking about what a cop-out it was to go to some of these shows or to get tickets for some of these shows, and some of them being in other countries. And, especially being in Europe and everything, it's kind of like interstate travel here. Paying for airfare, train fare, whatever fare, on top of the ticket price, only for them to cancel the show like a day before due to low ticket sales.
Yep.
And I've been seeing that happen a lot recently as well. And I think it is definitely it's like canceled due to lack of interest. I've heard Jim Cornette say that many times on the podcasts that he does, and it's like, I don't think I've ever canceled a show due to lack of interest. I think I may have given
some shows a lack of interest, but that's
well, yeah, but like you still went and played, and you were just, and I'm sure you felt bad. And I'm sure, Aaron, you've been to shows where there's been 3 or 4 people there.
I've literally been to shows where I think the band members from the bands outnumbered the actual audience,
Hell yeah.
Like the majority of the audience was guys from the other bands,
I mean,
that's called paying your dues, man. That's what that's called.
Is it though? I mean,
it is. Dude, playing the Bobby, and that's it. That's paying your dues. 20 years in, you shouldn't be doing that, but when you first start out, yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
Well,
what shocked me is it's funny because people won't sometimes shell out 10, 15, even $5 sometimes to go see local acts. Mm-hmm. But I just saw that Acid Bath reunited, and they're playing that Sick New World Fest. Mm-hmm. And like a one-day ticket that's like fucking $400, I heard, or something like that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And it's a shitty festival name on top of that. So there you go.
It's one day.
Actually,
still fans in one day.
It is a one-day fest, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, because that's one of the one-day fests that Metallica's playing next year.
Yeah.
On top of
it's
the
same people that
two-day
put on that,
festivals that they're playing.
I think it's the same people that put on that, like, I Love the 90s fest, like, a couple years ago, and there was a new metal or an emo one a few years ago. There's all seem to be in Las Vegas. I don't know if it's the same promoter or something.
Probably. It probably is.
Probably
That's
Danny
what
Wimmer. I mean, honestly, that's something that I was wanted to talk to you both about. And I saw that the Warped Tour is coming back also. But it's only 3 dates. But they're 2-day festivals. They're like a 15th and a 16th in May, one in June, and one in November. June,
Is that
July.
really- But is that a tour? I mean, that just sounds like some one-offs. Why is it called Warped Tour if it's not really a tour?
Okay, you're arguing semantics. That's not what I'm getting at. That's not what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is these are the same bands that are playing the Danny Wimmer festivals already. The Louder Than Lives, the Bourbon and Beyonds, the Aftershocks, all of that. They're the sub category bands that don't get a logo. You know, like Sum 41 was, or whoever, whatever. But like, is the market out there for more festivals?
I mean,
Go
me,
ahead.
I don't really enjoy those type of festivals myself. I mean, it's just too many fucking bands. You can't see them all. Most of them get abbreviated sets. A lot of the ones that I really want to see are sometimes playing in the middle of the lineup. So yeah, they're gonna maybe get 30 minutes, maybe 40. They're just not my kind of thing, man. You know, too many people. I'm fucking getting old, man. I want to be in bed by like 11 o'clock sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Alexa interrupted us. That was
Oh. But what about you, Jason? I know you don't really care for the 4-day things, but would you do a 2-day thing like that?
Nope, not anymore. I wouldn't even do a 1-day anymore. I would just go, if I went to a festival that was cheap enough and the headliner was someone I wanted to see, I would just go late. But no, I'm not doing that shit anymore. I don't believe in them because it takes away opportunity for people who don't want to go to that shit to miss out on bands that are going to be near the area. If you're in a circle that's like, 100 miles, 200 miles away from a festival and a band can't play that you want to see, then you're fucked out of a show. I'm sure they would love to fill some shit in between on weekdays and stuff. But yeah, it's just, dude, these festivals are like hurting live music because it's getting ridiculously expensive, ridiculously annoying. And it doesn't really, I don't really think it benefits these lower bands because nobody really gives a fuck about them that goes to these festivals. Like, what are you going to do? Like, approach like one ticket buyer for, Testament on a fest that has Metallica and Linkin Park, I mean, like, come on, it's
Well, I mean, you're still gonna get the fans that are like, yeah, we're going for Metallica or whoever, and it's just like, and holy shit, fucking Testament's gonna be there.
But see, what I'm saying is, but a lot of these bands in the middle are captive audiences. Means people are standing there on their phone waiting for the band they want to see.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, it's just like it's. I just don't think it's that great. I mean,
But
granted, I've
isn't
never
that
played
almost
one.
at any show anymore, though?
Well, I mean, if you go to like, if you're headlining a club show and it sells out, people are going there to see, or at least the opening band too. But when you're 2 o'clock on a Saturday on stage 5 over in the trees, that's too far away from the concessions and porta-johns and main stage, and you don't want to lose your spot. And Metallica or Linkin Park or whoever comes on, then yeah, I mean, it's really not great. I wouldn't imagine. I mean, I've seen bands that I like at 2 in the afternoon, and the crowds fucking suck. I mean, most people miss it because they gotta walk too far.
And that's what I was wondering about this fest with that many bands. There seem to be almost like a fucking 100 bands on the flyer. Like logistic wise, as a fan, how do you really like? I don't need to learn fucking quantum physics to try to like figure out how to see every band I like. I mean,
yeah,
it just
I know
seems
what you
like
mean.
Gonna get the time turner.
What's that?
You're gonna get the time turner and
Exactly.
go back in time, and no, you're absolutely right. And I was super critical of a fest a few years ago for doing that. with putting everybody on a half-hour time block with no changeover times between sets. It's like 4 o'clock, this stage starts. 4:30, this stage starts.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to do it that way. And it gets even worse like when you get like multiple stages, because then you've got overlap. And you know, and I guess maybe it's my hankering for like a good like 12 band day show, like Ozfest 99, 2000, 97, whatever. And you know, just sitting there and like just getting to this point where it's just like, holy shit, where do I, it's like I don't even want to go to one day, like Jason said, because there's like 40 bands, and it's like how do you, and like what you said, Aaron, how do you process that without learning quantum fucking physics?
And like the perfect way to do it is I mean, and this is like more for smaller fests, but my friend Dwayne, he put on the New England Stoner Doom Fest a few years, and it was in this great venue where they had 2 stages in different rooms. So when one band was playing, you know, the other band was setting up, you could automatically switch over. Everybody would walk to the other room, see the other band play, while the other band broke down, and the next band set up in that room, and you know, they just kept going back and forth like that, and it worked perfect, you know. And I've seen some fests that do that. They'll have like a stage on one side and a stage on the other. But I guess a lot of it depends on the venue that, you know, you get to, for the fest or something, you know?
Some of the ones that I've played, there's been like stage. And like while this stage is playing, this stage and this stage are setting up. And then this stage will start, and then this center stage, and then this stage. And it's like a juggling act.
Yeah.
And it's wild. You know, and but it's cool and it's effective, you know, and that's definitely not something that I'm gonna do on any fest that I'm promoting lately. But speaking of which, we are just a week off of another big goddamn metal show, and what would we be if we didn't talk about it? I wish you guys could have been there. It was rad, super rad fucking time. Friday night, obviously, we had Treason, Wind Rider, Idle Throne, Midnight Hellion, and Ulm play, and holy shit, did everybody... It was, and like everybody brought their game, and it was bam, on fucking fire. Want to give shout out to Treason because their bass player actually flew in from Stockholm to play this show.
Nice.
It's Leeson, it's Dylan's girlfriend, and like I don't know if they got to practice together other than like maybe on Zoom or something, but like I didn't hear any like crazy shit. Like she was on fucking fire with it.
Nice.
That's
awesome.
You have to pay her visa or anything?
No,
like that?
I did not actually, and hopefully she was not here on a work visa, or hopefully she wasn't here on a travel visa and work.
Okay, I didn't know. I know some small
because that's not my game.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start, to be honest with you.
It's because that's not my fucking business, as Jimmy would say.
Whoa. Work visa? We're in a small metal band. Nobody's getting paid, man.
Exactly.
U.S. government don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, the government doesn't fucking care, and FTG. Fuck the government.
20 more days, though, from this recording. The new regime coming in.
The Make America Metal Again movement with Jason Gardner.
Yep.
That's one of the things that you need to do while
minutes.
you're in office. One of the other things you need to do is you need to outlaw tribute bands.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just gonna sign that right now, and then just have it stamped for the 20th for January. I got about
or the
I like
6th.
tribute bands. I kind of like tribute bands.
Oh come on!
No.
I've seen a few
Tribute
good ones,
bands
man.
are cancer, dude.
Which ones do you like? Aaron? Like what bands? Because I
actually,
do have
I
a
saw-
thought on.
I saw an Iron Maiden tribute band that was really good. It was real fun just to hear the classics.
Was
Yeah.
it the Iron Maidens?
No, it was a band called Aces High.
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about, actually.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so if it's something like the Iron Maidens, I get that.
Yeah.
Okay, but like somebody who is doing a band that is like a Metallica tribute band, you know, the only album quality tribute band, the Four Horsemen, you know, shit like that. And I absolutely hate bands that will completely take a song and call themselves that band. Like they'll say like Sabbath, America's Black Sabbath. No, you're not, because Black Sabbath transcends world fucking wide, motherfucker.
Now, what are your thoughts on like I guess like parody bands like Max Sabbath?
Oh, dude,
Santa
that's
Sabbath?
different. That's a different thing. That's like a Weird Al deal. And I dig that because I love mashups ultimately. I always thought it would be a great mashup to do like Bungle in the Jungle from Jethro Tull and Welcome to the Jungle. And
I
yeah.
have a great idea, man. I always thought it'd be cool for somebody to do a black metal yacht rock project, right? And you would call it Christopher Upside Down Cross.
That's pretty good.
I mean,
Aaron, you should make that happen, dude. That's pretty good. At least
You
Ride
should
Like
be
the
the
Wind,
singer
Ride Like
for
the
that.
Wind, man, could be a pretty cool fucking black metal song, I think. You could
That
turn
would
that
be
into
awesome.
black metal.
Well,
Maybe we
I'll
should-
clear. Go ahead.
Maybe we should cut that part out and do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna clarify for Aaron why my hatred of tribute bands runs deep, real deep. So I don't mind the local band doing tribute night with like 4 bands acting as 4 other bands. Like it's coming up for Heavy Mountain if it happens this month. It's supposed to be tomorrow. We're supposed to know tomorrow. But the thing I don't like is when these bands tour and take away perfectly good Fridays and Saturdays from bands who actually deserve it for playing their own music. Because like they're kind of like a leech.
Because they signed the contract with Live Nation.
Yeah, they steal perfectly good spots that other bands can really use that write their own stuff, and it's basically the kid who gets A's and copies your homework.
Well,
So
one of
yeah,
the things-
that's my default.
one of the things that, okay, so like if it's like a special event, I had a friend who did like a once a year show, and then he moved it to twice a year, and then they haven't done it for at least a decade. But it's Dark Side of the Wall, and they
Right.
do like, for example, the first time I saw them, they did the Pulse concert in its entirety.
Oh, nice.
And with the videos, with everything, and it was like a spot on like deal. But again, it was like a once a year thing.
Yeah.
And that to me is one thing that you could do. And it's like you're getting the best players in the town, you know, that kind of deal. And it's like usually it's like given for charity and type stuff.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm talking about the Bon Jovi tribute band. He plays like 3 times a year on Saturdays only. Shit, it gets on my nerves.
It plays every Saturday in.
No, they don't play every Saturday, but they play it's like 3 times a year, like on Saturdays. In between the Nirvana tribute band, the Rolling Stones tribute band, the Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam mashup tribute band that plays around here, the Grateful Dead tribute bands, plural, and there's I think there's tribute bands of them.
Now you're getting the Skinner tribute bands and the
Skinner, that tribute, Leonard Skinner, the ultimate Leonard Skinner tribute band. Yeah, but like it's stuff like that.
Which
man.
is
It's
funny
like,
that
all
you
the fucking
mentioned.
time.
Which is funny that you mentioned the Nirvana tribute band.
Nirvana.
Yeah, and weren't they the one that got canceled in my town for the night of the big goddamn metal show, night 1, and I said to fucking good come out to this instead and tagged it in the post?
Was it them? Maybe. I don't remember. I remember seeing the post, but I don't remember who it was.
Yeah. And night 2, let's get back to that really fast. Night 2 of the big goddamn metal show. Unfortunately, Icehow had to drop off because Jason got sick. And the unfortunate thing is after the show, I started feeling the crud too. So I aptly named it the big goddamn metal crud. And that night we had Rat King, Lavaborn, Bree Warren, Joe Grudge, and Sanhedrin. And holy shit, what an amazing, amazing show. Like, I actually came home and put up a couple of set lists over on the wall behind me. Wind Riders was actually written on a Playboy magazine sheet, which I think is rad as fuck. I have Sanhedrins, of course, and was going through some stuff, and I ideally found all of last year's stuff that I had kept from the show. So I even had the first dollar. I do. So when in 30 years, when the book comes out and the big extended box set,
goddamn metal book,
the big goddamn metal book, the big goddamn metal box, hashtag trademark 2024.
Can I narrate the audiobook?
Yes, you can actually. I love audiobooks, by the way. I'm currently listening to one right now, which is read by Paul Giamatti.
Oh, nice.
And yes, it is top notch, because I like Paul Giamatti, and he does this like crazy thing where he gets nuts where he screams, but like him like mild mannered is so cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually watching a show. I'm actually watching a show that he's in the second season. It's called 30 Coins. It's a show from Spain, so it's all in Spanish and everything. But he's actually in it this season. It's all pretty cool.
Is he speaking Spanish?
No, I just seen his name in the credits, but he hadn't popped up yet. I'm only like 2 episodes in.
Oh, cool.
But it's about these people who like look for the 30 coins that Judas was paid to betray Jesus. And it's got a bunch of like it's like a bunch of like supernatural stuff in it. It's pretty cool concept if you want to check it out. It's on HBO, but like I said, it's all subtitles. So if you don't like subtitles, you probably won't like it. But if you can read, like a lot of our politicians cannot actually, then you might like it.
Sure.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is like I could totally see Paul Giamatti playing an Asgardian in the Marvel universe, just because he'd be like so untypical. He's like the anti-Thor, because he's got the dad bod, and he's not like Thor. I could totally see him playing an Asgardian, which is totally funny. So this week's guest, we've been talking for a minute now. Let's go ahead and talk about Lady Beast. Like I said, Pittsburgh premier heavy power metal, occult metal band. Aaron, when did they first come on your radar?
I'd say I'm not too familiar with them and their catalog, but I probably first heard about them, I want to say maybe about 6-7 years ago, something like that.
Sure.
That's
right, which was about the same time that it was for me as well, about 2018, 2019.
That's when I first started getting back into like underground metal and diving into more stuff, and that's kind of where I started getting more into power metal and stuff too. Before that, I was mostly into like stoner and doom and some thrash and stuff, but that kind of was when I first started getting into power metal. I listened to some of their stuff, and it's fucking killer. Like I said, Pittsburgh's got a great clean. They got Icarus Witch from there, and what was the other one? Is it Iron something? Was it Iron Brigade, or I forgot. There's another band from Pittsburgh that's pretty killer.
Yeah, I believe Iron Brigade's from Pittsburgh.
Okay, that must be it.
Because isn't Iron Flame from? Didn't you just have Andrew DeCagnon on?
Yeah. They're from Ohio, but he's also in Icarus Witch, who is from Pittsburgh. So
sure, yeah,
it's
that's
kind
what
of a little incestuous, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just like, I think the metal scene's everywhere. Like, I know, Jason, you have not you personally, but there's bands down there that have members in everything, it seems like, just as much as it is, like I said, with Ice Howl. Kyle also plays in Rat King, and he also played in Lavaborn for the big goddamn metal show. And he was gonna play triple duty that night had Ice Howl got to play.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a big thing. It's a big incestuous scene, it feels like, which is good because, it allows everybody to work with everybody.
Yeah, we have one of the guitar players for Cradle of Filth lives here. And also, I think a couple of the guys from Aether Realm, I think that's how you say it, are from here also. So yeah, there's a few pretty big wigs. And then Warren Haynes is from here, but he doesn't really do it here.
Yeah,
He
but
just-
do they?
He just
do they
visits around Christmas. Yeah.
but do they play in other stuff around town?
The guy from Cradle Filth, I think, does. I'm not for certain, but I know the guys from Ether Realm. Ether Realm, they don't play around here with anybody.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
that band's based out of the east part of the state, which is like pretty power metal hotbed. So they live here, but when they tour quite a bit, so they just stay on the road basically.
For sure. Well, guys, thanks for coming on to the Metal Forge this week. This has been cool. Aaron, do you have anything you want to promote coming up?
I got my next episode of Ossont&battery coming up. That should be released on Monday, I think. It's next coming Monday, correct?
Yeah, that's right, with Lady Luna and the Devil.
Yeah, they're a really killer band. So everyone go check them out. That's about it, man. I hope to get some other interviews coming up. Haven't confirmed anything yet, but have some stuff in the works. So hopefully that all works out.
Check it out. Yeah, seriously. Aaron is out there, where I'm talking to these people, these bands and artists as a artist. He's talking to them as a fan, and dude, that's like awesome stuff for me. I hope you get like so many more cool bands that you're into.
Yeah, I mean, and it's cool finding out like new things and small stuff. Like I was interviewing Lady Luna and the Devil here, and I found out their guitar player had only been playing guitar for 3 months before they recorded their first record. I guess he during the pandemic he just was like, hey, fuck it, I'll just learn how to play guitar, get into something, man. I think that's kind of cool, someone that I'm just gonna go for it. That's awesome.
For sure. Now, didn't you didn't Santa review a Christmas release of theirs?
Yes, Krampus Returns. That was my friend from up north, Santa Claus.
Hell yeah.
I haven't confirmed anything, but he should probably be making a return this holiday as well. So
I hope we can get him. I hope we can. Also, I do want to promote that we do have a Flamekeeper Halloween coming out on Halloween this year. We are talking about the 1986 seminal classic, Trick or Treat. Yeah, fun shit.
Yep.
So yeah, look forward for that on actual Halloween. Jason, what do you have to promote and talk about?
Well, I haven't talked to anybody because I've been busy with this storm bullshit. But I'm hoping to get you and Jason on soon. Then I got a couple more ideas, and I actually need to get with Aaron and somebody else who's a Grand Magus fan, and do a album review of the new one, Sunraven. Super excited! I can't wait.
Hell yeah!
It seems like Grand Magus release dates are like the fucking best, and they're not too far apart, which is awesome too. Except for the pandemic fucking everything up. It's been about 5 years in between for these two, but usually they're about 2 or 3. So yeah, it's always a good day. 35 more minutes of some fucking epic 3-piece metal. So yeah, I'm
That's
fucking
what
ready.
it's all about.
And it's a
Epic
concept
3-piece.
album, so I'm excited about that too.
Even
I
better.
can see the review going as us trying to find different ways of saying it kicks ass, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I already
exactly.
know it's 10 out of 10. I've only listened to one song, but it's 10 out of 10. But no, I
You
got the
actually broke
vinyl.
down and listened to it?
I have not. As of recording, this comes out tomorrow morning. So
Oh,
I will
okay.
be
You
listening to it
see
on the
it-
way. I'll be listening on the way to work because for some reason traffic sucks around here anymore because there's detours and shit. So
And
35
there's
minutes.
missing roads.
Yeah, well, that's what hence the detours. But 35 minutes sounds about perfect to get to my first job in the morning. So yeah, I'm fucking hitting play and I'm not stopping until I get there. So
And honestly, his first job is Blow, and we're going to listen to, and I actually made lyric videos this week for this artist because I love Lady Beast so much as a fan. Like, I'm like geeking the fuck out over here. I made lyric videos for the episode today. So we're going to go ahead and listen to the first, which is my favorite song of Lady Beast. This is off their third album, Vicious Breed, and it is the title track, Vicious Breed. Yeah. All right, metalheads. This one has been almost 5 years in the making, coming back to the Metal Forge. Our guest this week is the vocalist for an awesome power metal band out of the Pittsburgh area. Super fucking rad, awesome person. She put on her own festival for a few years and is now, if I'm not mistaken, recording a new album, the follow-up to the Vulture's Amulet from 2020. I am being joined with Deb Levine from the band Lady Beast.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, thank you. It is awesome. You were here in April of 2020, just after the pandemic
Damn.
started. And so much has changed since then.
Yeah, ain't that the truth?
I mean, I think we both did the thing where we grew up and we both bought houses.
hmm
Yeah, so that's a
I
big.
own I did previously own my house. I bought my house back in like 2008, but I just recently moved for the first time since then this
Oh, okay. So
January.
getting a new home. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
cool.
sure.
There we go. Okay. So, and that's a trip. That's that whole, the home buying process is just a whole, no, I don't want to do it ever again, I don't think.
And moving after 16 years of living in the same house, I have a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, and it goes back to what Carlin said. You have to have a place for your stuff. And you got more stuff, so you need a bigger place, so you need to get more stuff. And honestly, being in a power metal band and having a drummer is that's most of the stuff there. I'm sure is the big kit.
Yeah, he has a couple drum kits, and he is the main collector of all of our cool horror and heavy metal tchotchkes.
Sure.
Um, but yes, but there is still space for, my crystals, my weird bones, my herbs, all my weird stuff.
Absolutely. So this episode landing in the middle of spooky season here because it is going to be the middle of October when this comes out. So obviously cool stuff. So tell us, you've had a couple single releases in the last couple years, and now you're doing the full length, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yeah, we put out Vulture's Amulet back in 2020, like you said, and then we released an EP in 2021. And since then, we kind of like spent a lot of time playing shows. Because like you said, COVID happened, everything kind of stopped. Now we're in 21, 22, things are starting to get groovy and we're playing shows. So that was like a really fun time. And we kind of spent that time just getting out there and just having fun again. And then we really buckled down for 23 writing the new album, and we just are in the mixing phase now.
Definitely.
So yeah, we're ready to bust out with a new full length, and it's so awesome, and we're so happy and proud of what we've put together.
For sure. And in that same amount of time, you've also had a member change. You had the bass player change. So, and that alone makes for a big deal is when, because especially relearning older material, and because I'm sure there's stuff from the albums that you would still like to bust out occasionally.
Sure. I mean, to be honest, it really couldn't have come at a better time, because it was during COVID. Amy joined the band, I think, in like April, in like the summer of 2020, or in the
Sure.
spring of 2020,
Yeah,
maybe
because it was
April.
right after we had done the show, I think.
Yeah. So she joined in April, and since we couldn't play shows for like a year and a half, all we did was work on old material. So she got to learn maybe like 20 songs right off the bat,
Definitely.
which was really cool. And then we got to write with her um for she got to record on the Omens EP. Um so yeah, I'm excited to see to have people see her shine on this new album. But it couldn't have come at a more perfect time, because we had nothing to do but teach her the songs.
And I love that EP, by the way. I
Thank you.
absolutely do. And big shout out to the place where I purchased mine, because I didn't actually get it from the band direct. I purchased it in a store actually, which was totally rad as hell.
Hell yeah.
The store unfortunately is out of business now. It was Boa in Jolton, Tennessee, owned by Bobby and Sam. From
That's so cool.
yeah, Bobby from High Spirits, um his store.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love those guys.
yeah,
Bobby
super rad
and
peeps,
Sam.
love them. So as you're in the mixing phase for the album, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? An early spring release? I mean, obviously you've got to get in the line with the label and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, our new label is like super cool. So they seem like they're just kind of like on our timeline. We had some studio, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Postponements, that were not like on us, but like the studio had construction going on, and then our engineer had traveling with his job. So we are kind of like a couple months behind what our schedule was originally, but
Sure.
it doesn't seem to be a problem. I think maybe we'll do late spring, early summer release, and then try to get to Europe hopefully next fall again.
Definitely. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. And from what I've noticed online, nothing has been announced name wise. Are we at liberty to announce a name today?
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know.
For the record, this is probably going to be October 18th.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean that's fun, right? Why not? The new album is called The Inner Alchemist.
Ooh,
Yes,
interesting. Which you are, you're into the crystals and the occult,
of course.
as it were. I try to use correct terminology because I am not well versed in that. So which is cool. I love the title, The Inner Alchemist. It sounds like a concept album.
I think it is, and that was completely unintentional, but I think that it kind of ended up that way, although there are those, classic Lady Beast gem songs about, witches or, um trying to think what are some other songs. It's definitely I think the listener is going to pick up on it, some sort of like guide to challenge you to open up to all of the possibilities that you hold within yourself.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which is great because ultimately I think that's what a concept album should be. It should make you question, if anything, not only just society and what we each individually see and get, but like what everybody sees and what everybody gets. I think it's supposed to not only yourself, but you're supposed to question everything. And I think that's what it's a parody of the great farce of life, I guess, or whatever it
totally,
would be
dude.
called.
I
Uh,
mean, really, the main point of our existence is to kind of consistently grow to become the best person you can be, right? To be
sure.
happy, to be kind, to be, you know, um, giving, and through self-reflection and through changing your perceptions, there's a lot of room for growth there. And I try to explain the power in that.
For sure. And I totally hit all of that like when I turned 40.
Yeah, I just turned 39,
So
so
yeah, it was around that same time period. Yeah, that 39, 40. Yeah. There you go. Um, so when you have an unintentional concept album, those are to me always the best because Aqualung was an unintentional concept album. And it pissed Ian Anderson off actually that people called it one because it wasn't intended to be. And so when you do something like that, do you still get excited for it, or is it just like, wow, do you just kind of look at the dual meaning?
oh no, no, I'm very excited about it. That doesn't it wasn't intentional, so it doesn't really come up, but only if people bring it up would I ever mention like, yeah, I think it is maybe. I
Okay,
wouldn't really advertise it as such.
sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. That makes sense. I mean, because if it wasn't it wasn't intentional, so yeah, why would you outright say it? Yeah.
Sure, but
Um,
it could be because it does feel a lot different than our other albums. Like we have one song that's like 7 minutes long.
wow.
Yeah.
And this is
Compared
something,
to our normal like 2 to 3 minutes.
hey, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think my band went through that phase years ago where we had done the 8 song album, we had done the 8 song album, we had done the 8 song album, and it was just like 3 times in a row. It's like, fuck, what are we gonna do? It's like, well, here's like these awesome like parts. Let's just throw them all together in a song and just fucking call it done. And we ended up writing like four, like, where we had albums of like 3 and 4 and 5 minute songs. We had an album of 4 songs that was still like on average like 9 minutes a song.
Damn.
So yeah, I totally get that. You go bands go through the phase where things just lengthen. And if you're
And you
not
want to just try
careful,
something different. Like I think we wanted to try a lot of different things this time around. And it's
sure,
still our sound, but it's like refined.
definitely.
Yeah.
So this is the fifth full length, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Awesome. Hell
Yeah.
yeah, because there's one,
Yeah.
two, Vicious Breed,
Two
Vulture.
EPs, yeah, and five
Yeah.
full lengths.
Hell yeah. And being in a band for now 15 years. How does that make you feel? Because it's almost like legacy status in the new wave of traditional heavy metal, meet that new American metal, whatever you want to call it. Um, the idea, that's a long time.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a really long time. I think it definitely helps because we're all friends. We hang out. This is what we do for fun. I think we've also become realistic about what our abilities are in this game now, like we're not able to do a lot of touring and this and that. So we kind of just try to focus our energy and our fun on like the things that we are able to do.
Sure,
Um, but yeah, I can't believe it. It could be like our 15-year-old child.
sure. Oh yeah,
I mean, it does
I've
feel
got a
like,
17-year-old. I know.
yeah, it feels cool. It does feel really cool. I know the hardest thing to do is keep a band together.
Yes. And it's interesting for me being like with Overload being 17 this year, going back and looking at the first ideas of things that I had had for the band.
Mm.
Like this total DIY aspect of like I'm going to burn my own CDs. I'm going to fucking Kinko's my album artwork, my EP artwork and just go complete DIY and how it transpired into like a terrible fucking economy into an even worse economy.
But hey, I always say if you want to do anything, you got to do it yourself.
Exactly.
We put out our first couple vinyls, you know what I mean? You can't just sit around and wait, you got to burn those CDs and make it happen.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing about metal that I love to this day is we are still such physical media hounds
Sure.
that it doesn't matter if it's cassette, CD, vinyl, even a flash drive these days. People will buy a download card. If it's a card, they will
Sure.
buy it, you know, and I love that because there are still so many different avenues of being able to attract new listeners and retain new fans.
Sure.
And honestly, over the last 5 years of doing this show, I've kind of noticed a weird thing where um Cody Souza from Hatriot mentioned this on Facebook the other day. And I usually hate saying those words like I saw on Facebook type shit.
Mm,
But he brought up a great point where he called something the great fall off. And it's basically going to be like, and it's going to affect everything. It's Hollywood, your actors, actresses, your musicians, your big upper echelon people, the people who have been around for 30 and 40 years and 50 years playing music and stuff. How over the next decade or so, they're just going to start either, retiring or passing away and shit like that. And where are we going to go next
mm,
in the metal scene, And I think bands like Lady Beast and Sanhedrin and Night Demon and Midnight are those bands.
mm. Well, thank you for saying that. That's very kind. Yeah, I mean, do you think that like every generation thought this thought? I mean, I'm
No,
sure
actually, because I think, well, it comes with the thing, and this is where I said the
because you mean like no
existentialism
one
thing
is
comes
Judas
up.
Priest. You're saying like no one will replace Rob Halford.
No,
Right, exactly. Right.
no,
So,
no. I mean, I don't care who it is that, once Rob is gone and
right.
and Glenn is
And
gone,
Metallica is gone and
yeah, I mean,
right. Who are
thankfully,
going to be the bands? I don't know. Do you think they're going to be like radio bands?
I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know of a such thing of like radio bands anymore. I mean, yeah, you've still got your new rock alternative stations and all of that shit out
Right.
there, but like when it comes to media, it's honestly people catch it from YouTube or Spotify,
Mm,
and whatever, I guess whatever the playlist is going to be and the passing down of the metal tradition from parents to children. I mean, which there's a ton of younger metalheads that are into all kinds of crazy stuff because their parents were born in the 70s and 80s and got into what we got into.
sure.
But no, I think it's a very interesting concept to think about when, here we are almost at a precipice of, you know, people in their 60s and 70s that influenced us to play metal. Like
Yeah, I guess I
like
never really thought
Metallica's
about
and
it. I never thought about what will happen when the arena performers are all gone. Will we even go to arena shows?
sure. And
You know,
honestly,
weird.
the thing that I've noticed the most this year is not only is there what Cody was talking about with the fall off, but it's also happening in our club scenes today.
Mm,
Because this year, I think attendance has actually been down in a lot of shows.
dude,
And I
you're
know,
telling me, dog.
yeah, and I know. So, for example, I read an article today, and by the time this airs, this will be old news. But Coachella reported a 15% loss in sales
Hmm.
over this year from last. And that's a big deal for a major festival to drop 15%.
I think also just like times are hard with money right now. Like I
For
definitely
sure.
have to pick and choose what, like how many fests I can go to a year. And, I have like 7 animals that need to be taken care of when I leave. I don't get paid days off.
Right.
There's like a lot that goes
And
into
for those that don't know, Deb is also Dr. Doolittle. She takes care of animals at some sanctuaries. I've seen her post, and you volunteer at a sanctuary. Is
Yeah,
that
at our
correct?
local wildlife shelter for injured, wildlife, foxes and smaller. Um,
See that amazing stuff. That right there is what I adore about the metal scene, because we have so many community building members.
mhm.
Whether it be part of people like the big commercialized things like Big Brother, Big Sister, whether you're volunteering at the animal shelters, whether you're volunteering at youth outreach, or in Louisville here, Art Sanctuary and stuff like that, where you can put on art shows and stuff. That's what I love about metal, that a lot of my normie friends just really overlook.
Sure. And I think it's like important, especially for people that have this like, platform and outreach to lots of people to encourage volunteering and encourage, helping out because it makes such a difference. And maybe if they see like me doing it, they might be inspired to do it too. I try to like
De-
lead by
Definitely.
example.
Absolutely. And that's super rad, and kudos for that. But one of the things I was thinking about, and we kind of got off on a tangent here, which obviously happens on the show all the time.
You're easy to talk to.
Yeah, it's more or less it's an interview based conversation. It's all in well, with like we have the idea to do an interview, and then we just talk about what the fuck ever. So I did introduce you as power metal, and I do want to ask, the source. Do you consider Lady Beast power metal? Because you do have songs that are mystical. You have
Sure.
sword and sorcery. You have very serious issues. For example, I think of my favorite song, and it is a very human-esque issue with his Vicious Breed.
Mm.
You know, and and so, do you consider power metal, or kind of like
Um,
a
I
cult
guess like I
metal?
normally like if people ask us, like I normally just kind of say new wave of British heavy metal inspired because
Okay.
definitely we're inspired by Judas Priest and Iron Maiden and Motorhead and Thin Lizzy. But I would say Dio above all is like my spirit animal. And that's I feel like I relate to him in that way of the mystical, magical side of metal.
Okay.
Steeping in, the fantasy, um, but also kind of maintaining this like street attitude that we've just always had because we just keep it real.
Right.
Um, so we've definitely been compared to power metal in the genre, but I do feel like we might be a little too edgy, but I don't know. That's why I don't really like it's hard to like categorize things,
Sure.
because we really do like that our sound of Lady Beast encompasses all of our favorite types of metal. And
Right.
that's what makes us unique. We're not just like pounding away at like one sound.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, because again, you do hear, or at least I hear, the maiden influence, especially in a song like Vicious Breed, or hearing the priest influence in
Sure.
something, or the twin lead of like a Thin Lizzy riff,
Yeah.
which I carry the poster of Phil on the wall here, because he's a badass, and
Oh
always
yeah.
has been. One of the ones that was gone way too young,
Yeah.
was Phil Lynott. Absolutely. So early summer release, hopefully,
Yeah,
of the new album. Hell yeah,
that
kick
sounds cool.
ass.
Gives us enough
Uh,
time to promote, make some cool little videos, maybe like release a track.
I
Uh,
know a guy who's trying to get into doing music videos, and he does
cool.
lyric videos now.
Nice.
That's a shameless plug. I'm
Well,
talking about
hey, no, I
myself.
like all the plugs. I love recommendations.
Hell yeah. So what else do y'all have coming up for the rest of 24? I'm gonna say I was a bit bummed out that you didn't get to make it through to Blades of Steel.
He's
Um
down here. Sorry, Adam was looking for the dog.
ah
I know how stressful that can be.
for
Um,
sure.
he's my little shadow.
Oh,
Um, yeah,
that's
I was
totally
really bummed
staying
about
in.
that. But again, like me and Adam, we have like our own like cleaning businesses, and
Sure.
we thought we could get off work and we just couldn't, it really sucked. But like, if there's
Yeah,
no one to do the work, they find someone else to do the work, and that means that we don't have work.
exactly.
And
And
like I said,
it was
I
a
have like
bum,
7 mouths
but
to feed up in this house.
oh, for sure. And
So,
it, like I said, it was the
oh,
bummed out
I
because
know. I miss
even
seeing
if we
everyone.
weren't, well, see, my band Ice Howl actually picked up your all spot for that night.
Awesome,
And it was cool because I got to meet Erica for the first time and
dude.
Sanhedrin for the first time. Super
Isn't
rad
she
people.
great? She's a really good friend of
They're
mine.
all three amazing people.
Mhm.
They are all three amazing people. And total shout out. I am glad they're headlining this year's big goddamn metal show on Saturday. It's going to be fun times because it's their first time to Louisville.
Yes.
And next year, I want you all.
What time of the
um,
year is it? It's like October.
yes,
Okay.
we'll work something out,
Yeah, for
hopefully.
sure. Yeah.
So yeah, what do you all have going on for the rest of 2024?
Just kind of riding this high of finishing recording, mixing, mastering, starting to work on promotion. We're trying to spruce up our YouTube channel.
That's
We have
definitely
one
a
last
chore.
show of the year with None Slaughter, which will be so fun. They're dear friends of ours and such awesome dudes. Hmm. And then, like, to be honest, we don't really have any more shows, and I'm kind of excited to focus on like the other things I like to do.
Sure,
Like we spend a lot of time writing and focusing on this album. It just feels so good to have it done and be really happy with it. So I'm into herbalism, I'm into tarot, and I don't know, different, I guess, like practices. And so I'm going to start, I think, teaching some classes, which will be really fun locally. I've been doing a monthly Instagram live with another local witch. Um, just like talking about Sabbats, talking about cool rituals, talking about just like connecting with the earth. And I would say it's just as strong of a passion for me as music is,
sure,
that I'm excited to, as the darker months kind of come in and winter approaches, I'm excited to spend more time inside and study more and try to, like, I don't know, help my community through what I enjoy.
for sure. And that is amazing. And here's something that I've always thought would be interesting is would would being able to read tarot be able to be like this, like a Zoom thing? Have you ever
Oh,
done that?
100%.
Interesting. I didn't know if it was
100%.
something that would be more if you were in person
I think
or
it's really just the intention and like the, how much you put into it, right?
sure.
I definitely think that energy can be transferred from far away. And Yeah, it's totally possible. I've had intense Zoom tarot readings before by other
Wow.
people. I highly encourage, getting your cards read. It's not like it's not a future fortune telling myth, as some say. People are always like, I'm so scared to know what's going to happen. It's not like that at all. It's kind of almost like pulling back a curtain to underlying paths or things that are like constantly popping up in your life, and again trying to help you work through you know things, right?
Sure.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, it's kind of just telling you like, hey, this thing might be blocking you, maybe look at this thing differently, possibly, you know try this. They're all just, it's all suggestion. um but yeah, it's totally, it's so awesome just to have something else that is helping guide you, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's totally rad. And like I said, I've never had my cards read or anything, so I am
We could
definitely
totally
looking
do it
forward.
sometime.
Yeah, for sure. I think we said this the last time too.
Well, let's do it, because you know what, I need all the practice I can get, and nothing
We'll
is
have to
better
set this time
than.
up.
We will, for sure. That'll be great.
Definitely. So I want to go ahead and switch over to the derailed segment. Random questions about Deb as a person.
Sure.
Uh, is there something that you've always dreamed of doing for a long time, and why haven't you done it yet?
No.
Wow. So
No.
whatever you
I
dream you
really, like,
do?
honestly, I try to do everything I want to do. Well, okay, here's the thing. If there was one thing I didn't get to do, and maybe I hope I can come back in a different life, I would be an archaeologist.
For sure.
Travel, finding relics, uncovering history, like that is so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Um, but
And
no, I feel like
obviously, just to not like Indiana Jones.
no.
Would be
Although that
cool to be like that too,
maybe
but
once or twice. Yeah, but not every
yeah.
time.
And honestly, I would like to. I agree with that. I would have liked to, but I would have liked to have come back, not necessarily in this time.
Oh, sure.
Like I would have liked to have like discovered like something in Egypt or
That's what I was thinking.
yeah. Not just that, because I love Egyptian culture
Ooh,
and everything
me
and
too.
history. Super interesting things that
Me
like
too, dude.
the cradle of civilization, as it
Mhm.
were.
It's so rad. I know. I love Egypt and the Pantheon, and um yeah,
Which
it's
is which
so
is
inspiring.
Overload's third album. It's called Pantheon.
Sick.
Uh, but yeah, same thing. I love that stuff. I would love to have, visited like Syracuse or,
Mhm.
or Greece in
Mhm.
like the original war era type stuff, the first the dawn of civilization of the current calendar.
They would have been wild times, man.
Oh, for sure.
Wild times.
For for sure. Um Do you believe that the world would be a better place if religion would cease to exist?
Mm, no, I don't. But I think that the control religion forces upon people through instilling fear um is wrong. I think that it is super amazing to have a spiritual practice, and to allow the ability for the impossible to come through into your life, right? Maybe through
Sure.
ancestors or spirits or guides or gods or goddesses. But I just, I don't like when people are religious because they're scared not to be.
Sure.
You know
Because
what
of
I mean?
yes, absolutely.
Because of
Because of
consequences,
fear, like because of a judgment
because
or
because they're told they might go to hell if they aren't.
sure. No,
You know,
I totally
I
agree with
don't
that.
agree with um people using religion to hate people or to ostracize people or to hurt, like erase like histories.
Sure.
But I do think that spiritual practice is really important. And if you find that through religion, that's so awesome. If you create your own religion and your own practice, that's so cool too. I just don't want people to feel forced into anything and to be told what to do.
Yes, and how to live and how
Yes.
to love and
And how
how
to spend their money and
yes,
where to give their money. And it gets
very much.
really creepy and really controlling and manipulative. And
Sure.
so that's
I
what bums me out,
oh yeah,
because I
absolutely. I
don't think religion
remember
is bad. I really don't. It just people control it.
sure, absolutely. There was a thing that I remember from the 90s being a kid and like it was like real like middle America, like Midwest and like to it was kind of like a weird thing. It was called Amway.
That sounds familiar. What is that?
And it was just like this religious, this like non-secular religious based kind of thing where it's like almost like a kind of like an evangelical type thing before like Joel Osteen and those people came into existence.
Hmm.
And it's like talking about the worshiping like the American way of life and shit like that.
Oh,
Their sense
interesting.
out of, but
Weird.
they
I
had
don't know
like
anything about that.
yeah, they had like tapes and stuff, and it was something, yeah, like motivational tapes, and you would listen to these. I don't know if they were sermons or
Huh.
like motivational speeches, but it's like somebody took the handheld recorder into the amphitheater, and it's like you're listening to it like
Oh my
that.
God. That's so weird. I'll have to look
I,
into that. I have no idea.
yeah, I know it's on Wikipedia,
Hmm.
which kind of gets into the next subject here. It's kind of like a true crime thing here. What true crime hits a little too close to home for you?
Mm. I mean, pretty much like all of it, to be honest.
Sure.
I'm really uncomfortable, with like the home invasion, rapey, mutilation. It's just too
Okay.
real because you know what? It fucking happens, dude. It fucking
Sure.
happens. And like,
So something
being a
in like
being a woman in particular, you can't help but feel like, I mean, a walking target all the time. You know what I mean? Because there's just
sure.
fucking creeps everywhere.
No, you're
and
absolutely right.
and
And
so
and obviously being a singer on top of that, that probably even makes it more of a centralized point for you with
sure.
like
And
noticing the creeps and the being like a presence on stage and on online because of the band and everything.
sure. I mean, I try to keep my presence like very strong and like confident, and I'm a very like friendly person, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
it's like hard to, but no, I rarely actually come into, it's mainly creeps on the outside of the world. I don't really come into contact with too many metal creeps.
That's amazing.
I come in contact with a lot of metal people that have like severely different morals and views than I do, which like hurts my soul. But for the most part, for the creep factor, it's pretty minimal because also everyone like that knows our band knows the drummer's my husband and he will kick
Sure.
your fucking ass.
Yeah.
Well, actually, first I will kick your fucking ass.
Right. I was gonna say first he's got to wait for you to get done.
So I feel like more so now, and especially with more women in the metal scene in general, there's a lot more respect there. Before I felt like 10, 10, 12, 15 years ago, I had to like earn people's respect in this like really creepy way. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And now, once you prove you're not just like some sort of like added to the band or you're not like the merch person, or whatever, um, you gain respect.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
and that's an amazing thing. And that's one of the things that I've noticed too is like with yourself, Stacy Savage, uh, Erica Stoltz, Zeba and Ice Howl, and so many other, Amy Carlson, so many awesome, amazing female vocalists out there. And you all have this amazing sisterhood, that equally matches the brotherhood of metal musicians, and it's like we're all a big metal family, and I love it.
For sure. Totally.
And I totally dig that stuff. So
So to
what
answer
would
your question, I really don't fuck with true crime a lot.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
just
mean,
like
it
too
is it
weird. It
is a
puts
creepy
ideas in
thing.
my head. Like I don't need to I don't need to have any more weird ideas. Like
Sure.
because like you watch those shows and you go, holy fuck, I didn't even think about that happening. You know?
That's yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that's like completely weird is like Kurt Russell.
Oh, I love Kurt Russell.
And he's had some like super weird events happen in his life where he's just been there for.
Mm,
Like he ran outside and was like caught on the news during the OJ Simpson chase.
wow.
So, and he's like, wait, he's heading home and ran outside. But another thing that he was camping with his son in Colorado and they had went fishing and they were making their dinner and then they went and had done something and came back to their camp and all their stuff was gone. Their
Wow.
their dinner was gone and it was stolen by Ted Bundy.
Holy shit,
Yeah, like
dude.
total weird stuff. Like
Wow.
that, it would be like way too close to home for me. Just
Damn.
even, that's crazy shit.
Yeah,
Like,
that's really crazy.
yeah, yeah, fuck that. So I've been doing this segment called Last Meal.
Mm.
What would be Deb's ideal last meal?
Can it be courses or is it just like
It
one
can
one
be.
plate? Okay, because I'm
It
a
can be
like
courses.
I watch a lot of Top Chef. So
Yes.
I like, I like to like picture a coursed meal. So like maybe we'd be starting off with like something light, maybe like an oyster,
Okay.
a raw oyster with some like delicious like vinegar on it, some lemon, maybe a couple oysters.
For
Um,
sure.
and then maybe we'll move on to like a really creamy, rich mushroom bisque.
Hmm.
Do people get this intense? Do people get this intense about it?
This is what I wish that they would do.
Oh my
I
God.
mean,
Okay, okay. I'm
honestly,
like, Mark,
because
is this
I
too
love
much? Is this too much?
MasterChef. No, no, I love MasterChef and I love food and
Dude, I
obviously
love food.
and I love to hear what other people are interested in doing because this year I am actually in the midst of writing a metal cookbook.
Dude, that is sick. What a great idea.
So hopefully it'll be out soon. It's me and a few other people. Uh I would love to get a Deb from Lady Beast recipe for the
Dude,
book.
I would be honored for real. I would love to put
I
a
mean,
recipe in
I
there.
I love that's one of the reasons I love following you, because you do the thing of like these herbs and these different vegetative life, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, no, that's
These
perfect.
herbs, these spices, these different mushrooms, and you're such in tune with it, and you're like, oh, and by the way, this can be used for this and that and that. And
I
that's
love
what I
it.
love the follow.
Thank you so much. It really, it during COVID when we stopped playing shows, that's when I entered this world and it has changed my fucking life.
Hell
It
yeah.
it just like it's just never ending. You know what I mean? And like you start like remembering plants. Like I can go outside now. I could probably identify tens upon tens of plants, and tell you why
Without
they're
having to
good for
use
you.
the app on your phone. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that. But then after you use the app a couple of times, you don't need it.
Sure.
Yeah, it's so fun. But let's
Definitely.
continue this meal. So
Yes,
after
mushroom
the
bisque.
oysters and the mushroom bisque, I
What
think
what what mushroom though?
I was just thinking about like wild mushrooms, like oysters and
Ooh,
shiitakes and just really earthy, like meaty
sure.
flavors. Um and then I actually went to a restaurant the other night and got this, so I will put this as the main course. It was this beautiful piece of halibut
Mm,
on a shaved potato that was roasted with lots of herbs um on top of a seafood creamy broth with some pearl onions,
nice.
and then we'll finish up the meal with that's the hard part,
Yeah.
maybe a delicious flan. No, creme brulee. Let's do creme
Creme
brulee.
brulee. Yes.
I love food.
Ah.
Can I ask what yours would be?
Oh wow. So for an a first course would be like my appetizer, maybe just like a straight up potato skin, fried
Mm,
potato skins. Just you know, crumbly, just that right amount, and with like a sour cream based sauce.
love that.
Main course would be, or well, a soup would be, I love a nice French onion soup
Oh my gosh, yes.
in the old style crock,
Crock.
like that little tan
Oh,
and beige freaking crock that you just sit there and you
I
punch the
have
onions.
those.
Oh,
Oh
I love
yeah.
them.
Oh
I
yeah.
love those little things, and it's so good where the
You can
onions
always
just
find those at the
melt.
thrift store, mind you. That's where I get
Yes.
mine.
The Goodwill, oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah,
see, you're up in Pennsylvania, so you're like right around the corner from Amish country.
for
I mean, you could
sure.
probably get a ton of them from them if you
Totally.
I mean, that I would love to have some of those like old clay jugs like that. Yes,
People
that
are onto that stuff now, though. You used to be able to
yeah.
find it, and now people know.
Yep, that it I would love to have it because, making something like kimchi would be awesome.
Oh my God, or sauerkraut. Yum.
Yes. Yep. You see, you know what's up.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, a nice French onion soup, with a nice rice floured bread because of being diabetic.
Ooh, love that.
Something that's low on the carb for that, because the next I love a nice porterhouse,
Mm,
and I mean, can't go wrong with it. If it's a good enough piece, I don't need anything with it.
yeah.
Uh mid rare to rare. Perfect for me. For dessert would probably be a piece of chocolate cheesecake
Ooh,
and espresso.
nice. Love that. Finishing on a
And
high note.
and there we go.
Oh,
And
chef's kiss.
that would be the end, the last meal for me. And that's on today's episode. Next time it might be, I don't know,
Sure.
it might be surf and turf. Who knows?
Mm.
That's the beauty thing about it. It's we're not there yet. Or are we?
Yeah, I guess you never know. So eat every meal like it's your last, y'all.
Exactly.
Don't hold
So
back.
I do have one more question, but before we get to it, as always, links are listed below. So please give likes, shares, and follows. Go see Lady Beast when you can. Go buy their merch. Go do all the
Oh yeah,
things and all the stuff.
if this episode's coming out in October, we have a really awesome Halloween Lady B shirt that we re-added to our Bandcamp page.
Yes.
Um, it is only pre-order right now, but once I get them, I guess when this airs, they will be on the Bandcamp. So make sure you get them because I only print them around Halloween. So you have one chance a year to get this shirt.
Hell yeah. Now, do you all do your own printing or do you have it done
We
from like
used to. Adam and Andy always used to work at printing places. So it was so
nice.
cool. Oh, it was so awesome. I miss those days. But
I
now we
that's what I love about being an independent musician, honestly.
dude.
I
Now
work in a
Andy
parts
still
house,
he still
so
he still prints, but he does it at a place where they're too busy. They actually like do all of like the Penguins jerseys, all the like they make all the
oh wow.
jerseys for the Penguins, like sewing them and everything. Um, so he's too busy. So we actually outsource them from a local place, normally called Ink Division or Metal Moon Ink,
Okay.
which is a
So yeah,
new.
you're using a
Yeah,
cool
we're
company that's in the scene.
for sure.
Fuck yeah. That's cool because what that's one of the things of being a musician that I always liked is being like again, it's that community building thing
Oh,
where,
always.
it's like, hey, talk to Adam and Andy. They work in this print place. They might be able to help hook you up or at least know somebody who could. Or, hey, this dude prints shirts in the scene. He does the band on a budget deal.
Right.
Talk to him. It's like it might be one color, but it'll get you started.
Well, because if everyone just keeps doing those like print on demand things, these local little guys are gonna go out of business and like
Sure.
so will we like we're local little guys too, like
Yeah. Oh,
if people don't
absolutely.
support us, what's gonna happen? So, yeah, it's always nice to keep it, we're like a
Keep it all in
self-sufficient.
in the deal, in the bubble. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you have any shout outs you want to give today?
OMG. I mean, just everyone I know. You're all wonderful. And if I don't know you yet, I'm sure you're wonderful. And just keep being you and, smile at a stranger and don't forget to be kind. And, you know, some days are better than others. And I just hope you have love and support and food on your table. And, yeah, that's it.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
Mm.
Dude, always, yes. Be cool with each other. We're all in it together. We're all
This
I
is a
saw a
scary
video.
world, man. Like times are hard. It's hard to wake
Sure.
up every day in this, seeing what's going on all over the place and the disillusion of everything. But it's, day by day, moment by moment.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Because there are some very insane things happening all across the world that we all see every single day. And yet here we are on a metal podcast talking about it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it makes the significance, insignificance aspect of things. And it's hard, and it is hard to
Hard.
fucking deal with. And, so please, just be cool with each other. Because, hey, we don't know when it's our last day.
For
I
sure.
think that's the thing that I've learned the most over these last couple of years. Like I said, when I was right around the time I turned 40, to call back that from earlier in the show. So my final question of the day, and like I said before we started rolling, we get into these existential moments on the show, these philosophical moments. Um, what's your favorite memory of family movie night from being a kid?
Aw. Mm. So it's weird. I have problems like unlocking memories from a long time ago.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because I smoke so much weed. Like, people say whatever, but I call it selective memory. And I live a very fast-paced lifestyle where I'm constantly learning, constantly like looking, taking in. So I feel like a lot of my memories are just jumbled in my head somewhere and I have a hard time getting to them. But when we were young, we used to tape all of our movies off the TV.
Sure.
Right. So I don't remember like specifically like one particular movie I would watch with my family like a lot, but I just remember how fun it would be just like taping movies off of the TV and labeling them and putting them away and like you know what I mean? It was just
Yeah,
like or like
absolutely.
rewatching them a lot, like we always watched. I'm trying to like think. Like we loved like Jim Carrey movies and I mean
And in that day,
I
it was
guess I,
probably
I
stuff like
remember
Liar
like movies
Liar
like
and Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura was like our shit.
Oh
Like
yeah.
we used to like quote that movie all the time. But also like weird Steve Martin movies.
Hmm.
But personally for myself, every day for like months, maybe years, I watched Mallrats and Crybaby. Like
Mm.
every day. Those were like two of my favorite movies when I was younger.
I still love Mallrats.
We just rewatched it and it totally holds up.
Oh yeah, it absolutely does. That's the cool thing about Kevin Smith is it does hold up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even
All of them. We watched
um
Dogma too. It was awesome.
oh, for sure. I was at a con one time and Joey Lauren Adams was there doing a signing.
Cool.
And I don't pay for the autograph thing. And I just sit there and I went up to her and I said, I appreciate I don't do the paid autograph thing. I know it's a thing. I'm sorry, but I would like to express that I think it's so interesting that here we are 25 years removed from a movie that it pretty much introduced you to the world at a con,
Mm.
signing autographs at a con. And here you
Yeah.
are, 25 years later signing autographs because you're you at a
Yeah.
con. And she was like, that's really interesting. It's kind of like the snake eating its tail thing.
Totally, dude.
And
One could only
yeah,
hope, right? One can only hope that people care about you 25 years later, you know?
sure, absolutely, right. And yeah, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
But uh that's one of the things that I remember, movie night as well. It's like watching stuff like I remember watching Star Wars for the first time
Aw,
with my
cool.
family. And I specifically remember the lightsaber duel with
That's awesome.
Obi-Wan and Vader. So yeah, that was mine. So
I love that.
Deb, thank you so much. This has been killer. I appreciate you. I am so looking forward to the new album. And because I am like a mall rat nerd style, View Askew universe nerd, and own all of Lady Beast's catalog. What do
Mhm.
you want to play from your catalog?
Ooh, well, we were talking earlier about how it is a full moon eclipse tonight.
Yes.
I think we should play Seal the Hex.
Ooh. There it is. Seal the Hex.
Thank you, Mark. You rule.
You rule. Thank you.
For 45 years in keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They're open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week, located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out. Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttattooandpiercing@gmail.com, and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing, or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases, or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza Donisi. Pizza Donisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken, fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the ultimate underground metal tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza Donisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza Donisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. Rock out.
In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shade Beast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. Featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shade Beast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shade Beast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine! An independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now.
Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas.
Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.